Level 1. The Pawn. You are 12 years old, playing barefoot in the dirt when a black carriage pulls up. A man steps out, inspects your teeth like you are livestock, and tosses your father a sack of silver. You have just been sold into the Ming Dynasty. Your task is simple. You serve tea, bow, and stay completely invisible. But the stakes are life and death. If you pour the tea too slow, a bamboo rod cracks your knuckles. If you spill a single drop, you vanish and your body is tossed into the moat. You learn to survive by becoming a ghost draped in silk. You must charm the emperor while dodging the venomous glares and traps of rival concubines. You climb the ranks, but you realize the higher you rise, the harder they push to make you fall. Your life is never truly your own. Level 2. The Product. You wake up in Edo period Japan. You are an Oiran trapped behind the red gates of the Yoshiwara Pleasure District. You are no longer a person, you are an investment. You are trained relentlessly in music, poetry, and the art of walking silently. Your debut arrives and you are strapped into a massive kimono and 6-inch wooden sandals. Every step feels like a punishment. You generate massive wealth for the house. Wealthy men bid fortunes just to sit in your presence, but you don't see a single coin of that money. Every silk sock, every meal, and every music lesson is added to your insurmountable debt. You wield massive influence over powerful merchants, but you are nothing more than a prisoner in a golden cage. When you lose your youth, you fade into the background, entirely forgotten. Level 3. The Enforcer. You open your eyes in a damp, reeking medieval dungeon. You are born into a cursed bloodline. Your father hands you a pair of iron pliers and points to a screaming prisoner. You are a torturer. You learn anatomy by cracking the bones of dead livestock. Your job is to extract confessions for the law, whether the victims are guilty or not. You start small with the thumbscrews, crushing bone until they beg. You move up to the rack, learning to keep victims right on the agonizing edge between confessing and dying. You gain immense power. Criminals weep at the mere mention of your name. But this power is an absolute curse. Villagers cross themselves and run when you walk down the street. You are completely isolated, hated by the world, and drowning in the endless nightmares of the people you have broken. Level 4. The Predator. You jump into the modern era. You don't serve the law or a king anymore. You serve your darkest urges. You are a serial killer. You start small, testing your limits, collecting zip ties and burning your clothes in the bathtub to hide the evidence. Then you escalate. You become the highway strangler, hunting across state lines to confuse small-town police departments. You have complete control over life and death. You blend in perfectly, hiding behind a boring office job and a smiling family. The FBI has a 200-person task force desperately hunting you, but you are always a ghost on the interstate. You sit alone in your secret cabin, staring at the trophies of 67 victims. You feel untouchable. You feel like a god. Level 6. The Puppet Master. Your utter empathy attracts the ultimate power. You receive a blank envelope with a mysterious phone number. You are recruited by the Illuminati. Your bank account explodes into the millions, then billions. You step entirely out of the public eye and into the shadows. You are handed an entire country as your next target. You don't use weapons, you use extreme wealth. You funnel millions to opposition groups, bribe generals, and cut supply chains to create food shortages. You orchestrate a brutal regime change and orchestrate the transfer of $30 billion in wealth. You invite global leaders, tech founders, and senators to your private island compound. You record their darkest indulgences, securing blackmail on every politician that matters. You decide which laws pass, which viruses escape, and which nations financially collapse. You are playing a deadly game with the entire planet as your chessboard. Level 7, the downfall. You think you are immortal, but the Illuminati protects its own, until it doesn't. Sirens wail outside your compound. The FBI and U.S. Marshals kick your front doors in. You are tossed into the back of a car and thrown into a maximum security cell in Manhattan. You are calm. You expect your elite lawyers and bribed judges to bail you out. Instead, your cell door opens. An assassin in a guard's uniform steps inside and closes the door. Your usefulness to the order has expired. You are erased. Level 7, the abyss. You die expecting peace, or at least hell. Instead, you wake up floating in a warm, viscous nutrient pool inside the bowels of a living ship. You are a tyrannoid hormigaunt. You have no identity, no wealth, no power, and no free will. The hive mind crushes your thoughts, leaving only the endless urge to consume and kill. You are loaded into a screaming meat pod and fired at the surface of an alien planet. You charge blindly into blistering laser fire, a completely disposable bullet of flesh and bone. An explosion tears your legs off. You fall to the mud, completely useless to the swarm. Rippers pour over your broken body, eating you alive to reclaim your biomass for the hive. You will be dissolved in acid, broken down into raw genetic slurry. You will be reborn 1,000 times just to be slaughtered 1,000 more. The cycle of terror never, ever ends.